All right, lads. This is just like way better. Like sometimes I look at people and just go, "Man, I wish I had that much talent." But this dude, if you haven't been involved in the tech world, you probably missed this. But Soham Parekh, sorry if I butchered your name, champ. But I am Australian. He has been rocking 5 jobs at once. And most of the companies that hire him say that he's a really smart person. So he absolutely dominates interviews, and he has absolutely just been smashing the work. He's a really intelligent dude, and he's just rocking 5 jobs. He's earning like 800 grand a year.
What?
But he just got someone just found out and they called him out on Twitter. And then a whole bunch of other people came out and actually said, "Hey, I actually hired him." Funnily enough, Soham was our first engineering hire in 2022. Really smart and likable. Enjoyed working with him. We would realize pretty quickly that he was working multiple companies and let him go. Can't imagine the amount of equity he's left on the table. So
Holy smokes.
interesting because he obviously when you come and work for a company, you sign a whole bunch of things saying that you are only working for that company. So you are actually cheating in a way. But I found this quite funny. I'm just like, most of us like struggle doing one job and he's over there rocking. Obviously there's a whole Reddit thread on like overemployed, and Daryl used to tell me about this all, and he'd probably dig into that a bit deeper. But the one thing that I also wanted to highlight quickly, just to kind of lay the foundation, is Cluely, old Roy boy, just reached out and was like, this is, they're all about cheating. So they were like, "Hey bro, let's actually talk, because, you're a good cheater. So you'd fit right into our culture." But then also they even actually was interviewing Roy. So the story is amazing. And I find the way it's unfolding is actually really interesting. And I was tempted to follow the old Sahim, whatever his name was. I can't remember. But yeah, very interesting. So yeah, Daryl, tell us about your experiences with the old overemployed Reddit subthread.
Yeah. So there's a whole community. There's tens of thousands of people that do this. It's called r/overemployed, and they all run heaps of jobs. So they call them servers because they try and pretend that people aren't going to know if they call them servers, Minecraft servers, not jobs. But basically they get hired by heaps of companies all at the same time, and they all talk strategy on how to keep it a secret, how to manage your meetings, what type of jobs are the best. And a lot of it in that community is in the tech space. And to be honest, at various times I'm like they pretty strictly say stay away from government work because you'll be committing fraud against the government. In a lot of the cases, a lot of the people who work a lot of the people who work in these tech businesses aren't giving their 100% anyway. So whether they're doing another job or not, like some of the people on Overemployed take the piss and they're running 6 jobs and doing a terrible job of it, giving every overemployed person a bad name. And then the rest of them are just good at their jobs and they can maintain 3 jobs at once because the expectations of a tech company with way too many people is that they don't see what everyone's doing and they don't care about the output beyond the bare minimum. So if you've got an engineer in your team who's only outputting a tiny bit every week, you only have to match that to be even because the expectations are so low. And I think that just happens in like big scaling companies.
It's actually quite sad, because like we all know you can only do one thing well and you can only focus on one thing. And especially when Zach's scrolling through the Reddit thread while I'm trying to talk, it's really working my brain. But like, yeah, it's crazy. It's actually crazy because like this is the thing. And this is one of the reasons why people are pushing so hard for bringing everyone back into the office. You can't run multiple jobs when you're in the office, right? I mean, you can try, but you're going to get caught real quick. Like you're on a network, they're going to be able to watch what you're doing and stuff. But
most of these people, because the companies are very like strict on authorization and access. So you just saw that diagram before of the KVM thing. They all have strategies for having 4 laptops set up on their desk with different keyboards and mouse, and then like how to be in 2 meetings at once. You have an AirPod in this ear with over-ears on. The over-ears are connected to one meeting while the thing's connected to that one. All camera off all the time. Like there's so many like rules and things about it. They worry about traveling on holiday because the authorization teams of these big companies are watching where people are checking in from and stuff. There's a whole meta to it of how to hack the system.
It sounds stressful to even do it. Like
a lot of them say that.
You know what's funny? Like, if you actually apply yourself in one job, like obviously be in the right vehicle. So be in the right company, firstly. That's an obvious
I think that's
one.
the big problem, yeah.
Yeah. Be in the right vehicle. But then two, apply yourself. And guess what? Look, we just saw people being poached for $100 million.
Yeah.
There is no limit in tech on how much you can get paid. Let's be honest. Like, even in a small startup, if you are that good and you can deliver that much value, you will get paid probably what 2 to 3 jobs would give you. Yeah. Right? It's very interesting. Like, people take this shortcut and like they're cheating. Like, you are cheating. You are stealing. Like, a company signs a contract with you and says, like, you are committed to this many hours. You can't do 2 jobs at the same time because you're actually not doing the hours. You're just not doing what you've agreed to. So you're actually stealing and you are actually being a bad actor, right? Yeah. I just found this amazing because the reviews of this guy were actually like, he's great. So it means like
also,
he's actually doing
I've heard of these things happening before where, and a lot of, I think, Chinese people do the same thing. They have one really good interviewer. So he's the interviewer and the talker, and then the other person is watching via, what do they call it when you like remote view into a desktop? They watch the whole meeting. They do the work over here. So he could have a team of 20 people doing all of this work, and he's just really good at talking. And there's a manager that like makes everyone do everything. That could be another option.
You know what?
Or he could just be good enough.
Yeah. I mean, like that in a sense, like almost as a company, you'd be like, damn, but if the work's good.
Doesn't matter. Yeah.
Then you're kind of like,
that's like a management problem, right?
Yeah, then you're like, well, the guy's just doing, like, you're basically outsourcing to a third party.
You're contracting, yeah. If he was a contractor and selling contract services and everyone had those reviews of him, like, he was really good and likable.
But at a good rate, right? Like, because the problem with outsourcing work like that is usually you get absolutely butchered because you've got all the overheads that you're paying for. But if you're paying just purely the salary and the person on the other side, an interesting model. But as long as just be open about it. Be upfront, like, hey, bro, like, I'm running this. I actually got it to someone. I'm just anyway, like, a company probably wouldn't hire you, but like, it's all cheating. Let's be honest. We're just trying to like find the gray area in cheating. In the end of the day, if you look at black and white, you're stealing, you're cheating, you're being a bit of a dog. But Soham, it's got a lot of press on this. And you know what's funny? I wanted to follow him. He's got a lot of followers now. And he's been hired by a startup. Because in the end of the day, he's like, I actually just like to ship. And you know what probably started this? Is it probably he sat in an enterprise company and he's like, I'm bored. I could do more. And like people, he's like, I want to do more. And they're like, no.
Oh, yeah, I can see how it's all management of big company problems because like dreams get crushed in management layers. And it would have been like you said, you can earn more in a company. So you say, okay, I'm getting my work done in an hour. I want to do this for the company. And they go, yeah, well, look, we've got to put it into planning and we're not planning again for 6 months because we've already planned the next 15 sprints. And also we've got to do this. And like,
we've seen this.
Just come work for a real company. Go work for Cluely. Go work for smaller companies.
I just also, found it so funny.
Come work for us.
Great press.
They did a great job.
Dude, I was tempted. I was like,
we can't afford him. Cluely's got the way more money on the table.
Yeah, I don't know if he is going Cluely though, because I read he did a post that he pinned and he was like, I've found working with a startup it's just starting and it didn't sound, it's in video.
Yeah,
it sounds like Cluely.
This is all performative. It wouldn't matter if you never intended to hire him. That much engagement on one post is worth having a meeting.
Yeah,
that was 11,000.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, I mean, I'm right now. I got another camera set up. I'm doing this for another startup. We're actually
it's gonna be awkward because it's not gonna make
it's called Video Flow, and
who's gonna flag repeat content on YouTube when you post this exact video with us cut out? Change
I actually
our voices
just
and appearances with AI.
No, my other bosses are over here. That's
we just reuse it all. What was that? Okay, yeah.
Why do you think I keep looking left and right? I'm actually.
So I think the moral of the story is, guys, don't cheat because you're gonna get found out. It always happens.
Yeah,
it always happens.
And if you are going to cheat, do it so it goes very public and you get famous and job offers from it.
No,